Greetings to you all. Welcome to MRU E-Learning powered by Malla Reddy University. I am Dr. Lata, Associate Professor, Cybersecurity and IoT Department. Today, we'll understand about cloud security insights. Cloud computing plays a major role in digital world. We'll understand about cloud computing first, then we'll understand about cloud security. Cloud computing refers to the delivery of on-demand services like storage, software and applications. Cloud is actually a virtual space where the data can be stored and retrieved. Cloud security provides policies, controls and technologies to protect the cloud data. And it also protects privacy of applications and cloud infrastructure from cyber threats. Now we'll understand total roadmap of all these cloud security mechanisms. We'll understand about cloud computing basics, then we'll understand about cloud security principles, then cloud threats and vulnerabilities, attacks and awareness process, and some of the challenges and best practices in real world. Basically, the cloud services will be provided based upon the cloud service models. There are three basic cloud service models we have: IaaS, PaaS and SaaS. IaaS means infrastructure as a service, where all the infrastructure based services from the cloud will be provided to the users. Let's say servers, networking capacity or like some storage device capacity. Everything will be virtualized and placed in the cloud, and the server will provide as service to the users. Coming to the platform as a service, it provides a platform for developers to build, test and deploy applications easily. Whatever the applications nowadays we are using will be provided by the platform as a service mechanism. Now, the software as a service. It delivers software applications accessible from any internet-enabled devices. Like that may be any end device the user can use. There, the software as a service can work and then it can provide the services to the user. Next, coming to the cloud service types. There are basically three major cloud service types we have: public cloud, private cloud and hybrid cloud. Public cloud will provide or give services publicly to all the users. That means all the resources from the cloud will be openly accessible through the public cloud. Coming to the private cloud, it will be specifically given to one organization or a single user also sometimes. So it will be very much private, and then always the data will be protected in a high way. And then the hybrid cloud will combine with the public cloud and the private cloud. That means all the open access facilities will be there. At the same time, some of the authentications will be very strict so that only specific persons or organizations can access through this particular hybrid cloud. Public cloud example, we can say Amazon Web Services, and then private cloud, Dell and VMware. Hybrid cloud example is IBM and Data Core Softwares. Coming to the cloud security. The cloud security is most important nowadays because the use of AI is being increased day by day. The data is being shared between multiple users and then rapidly it is changing. So the technology should be developed in such a way that the cloud should provide the security to the data of the users. Now we'll understand CIA trade of the cloud security. CIA means confidentiality, integrity and availability of the data. The confidentiality means the data exchanged between the users from the cloud to be confidentially maintained. The data to be protected between the sender and the receiver. For example, if we take sender A and then sender A is sending to receiver B. Then sender A should have the data security policies and mechanisms, and sender B also should have the data security and mechanisms. That means the sender should send the data in a secured way with maintaining of the confidentiality. At the same time, B also should maintain the confidentiality of the data that has been received by the A. Then coming to the integrity, same. A and B should maintain the integrity between both of the data. The data that is being shared by A and the data that is being received by B should be confidentially shared. At the same time, integrity of the data should be maintained. Then availability of the data means all the cloud data should be always available for the use of the different purposes. Users will accept some of the queries, and then cloud will provide some of the solutions to the users, and all this data exchange and communication should be available openly and sometimes privately between the users and the clouds. So this is what the important thing we need to understand. So the cloud security is most important. By maintaining confidentiality, integrity and availability, the security will be provided successfully. Now let us understand about the cloud security architecture. Total cloud computing will depending on this particular architecture. The architecture will start with the data storage level, then network level, virtualization level, application level. So all the applications that we use through our mobile phones or laptops or any other devices will be available at this particular application level. And at the same time, the virtualization level will be like always available at the cloud. The cloud, this is what we can consider as a cloud. The cloud will provide the data distribution or the computational distribution or like service distribution among different virtual machines. The virtual machines actually share the data to the different users through this particular virtualization level. Next comes to the network layer. Network layer security is also most important. And then data storage level. The data, all the data will be stored in virtual format in the cloud with this level. So this level to network level to virtualization level, virtualization to application level, the cloud data management is most important. So the levels are to be protected. At the same time, what are the security measures and security to be understood, we'll understand here. So these are all the securities. So application will provide browser and web application and API security, application programming interface security. At the time of designing of the applications itself, the security should be provided to all the applications. Next, coming to the CSP, Cloud Service Provider Security, and authentication like login, logout security, and then authorization like who is admin, who is providing the data, and who is receiving the data. Everything, every security will be maintained here at this particular level. And identity management means like who is the sender, who is the receiver, who is the authorized person to receive the data. So all these things will be maintained at this particular level. And of course, the audit and then loss security will be maintained in this particular management services level. And then coming to the hypervisor level, hypervisor is actually it's a software tool that will be making a computer system into virtualized mode, and it will monitor all the in and outflow of the data. So the virtualization security is most important, and then virtual machine security is important, and then hypervisor security is also important because these are the like bridges between the user and the cloud. So this integration is coming here through the virtual machine security. So this security is most important in the cloud. Next, coming to the network security. Network security means like there are so many network devices, and then let's say example, routers, bridges, switches, and all the cables, wireless and wired, all these connections will be coming under the network. So the network security is most important, and all the protocols that are being passed through these network layers is going to be securely maintained. Then here intrusion detection and then different mechanisms will be followed, and then malicious attacks, if any happens through the network, will be undertaken, and it will be resolved for the like a particular organization or the users. Next, coming to the data storage security, which is most important nowadays, because the data we are sending to through some application, and then users are involved with many social media networks and all. So where we are sending data and who is saving the data, who is receiving data is most important. So cloud should take the measures of data storage security mechanisms and physical security of data mechanisms, and then data integrity and confidentiality and availability of data should be maintained here at the security level of the data storage. Next, coming to the securing of the cloud network. The cloud network is between the cloud user and the cloud service provider. The cloud service provider will consisting of server. Server will have some multiple devices, and then devices will have multiple access mechanisms, and then so that the routers will be connected to any of the cloud network, and then cloud network will give to the router again here, and then the router will distribute the data to this particular any organizational or kind of like any endpoint distributed system. So it can be an enterprise. So this cloud user is going to distribute, request some of the data to be retrieved from the cloud service provider. Now cloud service provider will provide the data to the cloud user. So in between, this network is involved a lot. So the network security is most important, based upon the router security, at the same time all the device security involved in it. So in this regard, the security can be understood about the visibility, authentication and role-based access control, conditional monitoring and enforcement and response of that particular requests and responses performed by the users through the cloud, and of course the cloud responses given to the users. Coming to the vulnerabilities in the cloud. There are so many vulnerabilities nowadays emerged day by day. So we need to understand what is vulnerability and how we need to understand about the vulnerability, and then how we need to assess. So the vulnerability is a weak point that is actually available in any computing environment. Or we can say common weakness, weak entry points exploited by attackers. Commonly, attackers will attack all these vulnerabilities. They will detect for vulnerabilities so that they can attack the cloud data through these vulnerabilities. So some of the vulnerabilities we'll discuss here: security misconfigurations, weak access management, unprotected APIs, and susceptibility to DOS attacks, and then account hijacking and compromise, and weak or absent cryptography, and shared technology vulnerabilities. These are many, and there are many more vulnerabilities are also there, but we'll understand only a few of them. The vulnerability assessment of these vulnerabilities also to be done in a regular basis. So regular audits of these vulnerabilities to be done. For example, let's take an example of your laptop or a mobile device. Then you need to understand about your system completely, so that you need to conduct a vulnerability assessment test, so that whatever the vulnerabilities or weak points are available in your system, you must know, so that you can close or protect all these vulnerabilities. Next, like whatever the attackers are planning to attack through your vulnerabilities will be minimized. So in this regard, we need to conduct regular audits to your computer system or the computing environment. Then we need to continuously monitor all these weak points that whatever available in our computer systems or computing environment. Especially this is applicable for big organizations and then business management domains and then applications. And then all the employees involved in that particular business should be trained in a such a way that all the security training will be applicable at the time of assessment of vulnerabilities, in order to protect your systems and then domains from the attackers. Next, we'll understand about the threats to the cloud. So threat means it is a harmful activity that will be performed by any of the attacker. Always the attacks will happen through the vulnerabilities. Just now we understood. So the vulnerabilities should be properly monitored and then to be minimized. But at the same time, threats are also in a very high capacity so that they can attack from anywhere, though it may not find the vulnerabilities. So how the threats will attack the systems, we'll understand. So the threats will attack the systems and then computing environments through some of the data breaches, and then accounting or account hijacking, and then insecure APIs. So data breaches means they can give the facility of the attack to the attacker to enter into your computer system through any virus or any programming code or any kind of like recently we can say in mobile devices like applications, we'll get some of the ads in between, and then through the ads or through some unnecessary protocols, through some unnecessary links and all, the data can be breached and then attack can happen over there. So that is the biggest threat in computing environment. And especially in the cloud security mechanisms, these threats will happen through only because of the basic data breaches. Next, coming to the account hijacking. That means we know all social media will be very much used nowadays. So social media accounts or official accounts, websites and all these things, or official business accounts can be hijacked by attackers. That means if your official business is going through a particular website, let's say, then they can be they can take the credentials by hacking your particular website, and then they can log in into your website, and then they can act as if they are the owners of that particular website. So this is nothing but the account hijacking. Next, insecure APIs means application programming itself should be secured. So when we don't secure the application programming, then threats may happen. Then coming to some of the examples of cloud threats, insider threats, next denial of service, and malware and ransomware. Insider threat means it will be available in your own computer system or in your own organization. That can be through a person, that can be through a tool, or that can be through any software also. So viruses can be created within the person within the organization. So these are called as insider threats. They are so harmful. And then denial of service means when a network is occupied with the authenticated users, but somebody entered in between that particular network, and then they try to access all the services provided by the cloud, and then it is going to be harmful to that particular network. So all the people, whoever are using a particular network service, this network should be protected. If somebody enters into the middle and try to access the services provided by the this particular cloud platform, but to the authenticated users, but any illegal person can enter and then try to access the data, that can lead to the denial of service access. The original users may miss the data, and then it will lead to the DOS attacks. Then malware and ransomware. Malware is a malicious software that has been entered or maybe included by any attacker. And then ransomware is also same way. Any software or the software patch will be included in your own software, so that this particular malware can exist over there, and then it can harm to your computer. They can threat also by you have to pay some amount, or we need to do something like that. They can threat, and then they can get some of the credentials from any of the persons involved in that particular organization. So this is what ransomware. Ransomware always deals with some kind of cost or some kind of credential loss and all. Then coming to the threat propagation, how this threat will be propagated into the cloud, or the cloud threat management, we can call it as. There is a tool called as a SIEM tool. That means Security Information and Event Management Tool. This will be helping the computer organizations or the corporate companies or business management sectors we understand about the threats of attacked or like threats may be happened in that particular organization. The cloud will understand about the infrastructure of that particular organization, and then it will analyze all the security levels of that particular organizations and what are the vulnerabilities, threats, and what are the countermeasures can be taken on that particular organization, and any patterns or misuse of patterns happened in that particular organization can be understood, and at the same time security patterns can be involved. So whatever the misuse and then security patterns can be compared with each other, and then it can be like providing a particular security, and then some of the best practices can be involved in that particular organization. So this is very helpful, and this is using machine learning methods and then like advanced mechanisms so that all the organizations can save their particular data. And then at the data collection level itself, the security mechanism should be applied. So end user devices can have that particular data collection mechanism, so the security should be provided here. And all the web applications should be provided security, servers should be providing the security, access points like the Wi-Fi router, like we will enter Wi-Fi passwords and then Wi-Fi names will be there, and then all these access points should be providing the security, then switches and the firewalls. So in the cloud, complete structure of the data collection and the data storage and like whatever the policies and then rules applied for the data security in the cloud should be properly maintained, and finally the reporting of any security threat happens in that particular cloud should be reported, and that should be documented actually, and then so that it can be used for further use in order to securely maintain any cloud management. Next, coming to the cloud attacks. So we understood about vulnerabilities, then threats, and then now attacks. Attacks are most important like harmful activities that are being happening nowadays. We need to really understand, get the awareness about these cloud attacks. Cloud attacks, examples I can say, like man-in-the-middle attack and privilege escalation attack, and then cross-site scripting attack. Let us understand one of this, like man-in-the-middle attack. Just how I told you at DOS attacks, some person, illegal person may enter into your network, cloud network, and try to access the data from the authorized cloud. But here, the man itself, like completely any other authorized, unauthorized person will act like a organizational own person, and then they'll try to attack that particular system. So this attack occurs when attacker interprets and relays communication between two parties, allowing them like to alter the data. That means to modify the data. So he acts like, okay, you can access this data and then you can even alter the data. He acts like a high-level management person so that he can like drag the data and then he can alter the data. It's like, it's very tricky, and then the tricky attacks are going to happen, are happening, and in future also there are many attacks are going to happen because of the usage of the data through artificial intelligence. Now we need to understand all the different, one more attack also I can explain here, cross-site scripting attack. That means the XSS attacks, it will inject some of the malicious scripts. It's not like a virus or it's not like a software, but they will include some of the scripts in between. Let's say, for example, they are sending a email. So through the email, they are sending some official information to the receiver. The sender is now trying to send. If he is an attacker, he want to try to exploit it and then attack it. Then he is going to include his own some kind of words or terminology or kind of some sentences as if like they are authenticated. Then they will include and then they will patch it into the original information. Then original information will be distorted. That means like it will be converted into some malicious information. So that is what the script. Some cross-site scripting mechanism is a very much biggest attack will happen nowadays. Now we'll understand some more cloud attacks like ransomware, cryptojacking, and prevention of that particular attack. Whenever attack happens, how we need to prevent that particular attack. So ransomware, we already discussed about this ransomware in vulnerabilities section. The ransomware is a software patch that is included or that will be injected into the original software so that the attacker can demand for some kind of money or some kind of like any credentials to be given to that particular person. So this ransomware is always try to encrypt the files unauthorized way. Then cryptojacking means like it secretly uses devices and processing power for cryptocurrency mining, etc. So that means the cryptojacking, it's a kind of a process that will be used by the attackers to attack your own systems, and then it is going to apply on your online money. That means virtual money. That nowadays we are understanding about online or virtual money in the form of online currency, bitcoins, and then different scenarios. So this can be attacked through the cryptojacking. Then coming to the prevention mechanism. So strong prevention measures including regular updates and user training are essential to combat these types of threats. So these are the threats and attacks types we understood, and we need to understand some example of the attack. So we'll understand about the phishing attack. So what is the meaning of phishing attack? Phishing attack attracts and trick users into revealing sensitive information and compromising their security and privacy. That means through emails or through any SMSs or through any kind of information exchange applications or channels, they can send some information as if it is an official information, so that they can trick the people. They will send you you win a prize or you win an award here. Like that, they will officially declare a message so that people will attract, and then they will try to go into that particular trap, and then they will try to catch the people who are getting into their trap. So this is what the phishing attack. So how this phishing attack will be executed? The execution involves mimicking legitimate channels to capture users' credentials and sensitive data. So they are going to violate some of the rules, and they are going to misuse of the data, and then automatically they are trying to attack that particular system or the user's information. So and what are the consequences? For example, if we have the phishing attack happen and they have executed the phishing attack, then what happens here? The consequences of phishing attack can lead to identity theft, financial loss, and significant data breaches. You may give unintentionally, you will give your own personal data to them. You will give your own organizational data. That may be leading to the data leakage or personal information leakage that may finally lead to the financial loss and then completely violation of the organizational data. Then we'll understand how we need to have the awareness about this cloud and cloud data protection, cloud security principles, what are the vulnerabilities, threats and attacks. We need to have the complete awareness over this particular, the cloud computing and cloud security scenarios. In order to understand that, we need to train the employees in such a way that they need to facilitated with the high secure levels of computing, and then they need to understand all the security principles correctly. Then what is the policy development you are involving in your organizations through the clouds, which is important. And then incident responses are very much important. So how this will be done, we'll understand. The training of the employees to be given in a regular basis, and then they need to understand about the risks that are. For example, if any organization is there, what are the risks may happen or available through the risks, what are the threats may happen in the future, they need to understand. So this training should be done in a regular basis. Then policy development in organization, especially in business organizations or any kind of corporate sectors, we need to develop all the policy development. Developing clear policies ensures all employees understand their roles in maintaining cloud security. We need to understand the policies and how to develop and then include in our system. We need to understand clearly, and then we need to maintain the cloud security. Then instant response is most important. For example, suddenly any threat or attack happen in the organization or in your personal computer or in your mobile device. How to respond is most important. So a well-defined incident response plan allows organizations to react quickly to cloud security breaches. So we already should plan what is the incident response and management mechanism. We need to understand what are the vulnerabilities. We need to understand about what are the policies we have already developed and what may be the threats may be attracted and attacks may happen. Everything we need to have the action plan for that, so that any incidents happens, then automatically response should be immediately will be given. The response will automatically give the solution to the attack whatever happened in that particular time period. Then we need to understand how we need to integrate the protection controls into the cloud. The protection control is most important. The protection based upon the cloud data exchange and then user applications and all the data management in the cloud. So all these to be integratedly involved, and then security principles to be designed, and then we need to apply all the policies, and we need to give the awareness to the users also, and we need to continuously monitor all the network infrastructures whatever we have in our organizations. So the security policies that establish robust security policies, and then to protect the cloud resources from threats and vulnerabilities. Based upon these cloud resources exchanged between cloud to the user, and then user to any other user, or to the business to the client, and client to the business managers, like all these things will have a chain process. In this regard, these security policies should be applied level by level. So level by level security policies if we apply, then automatically we will save and secure our cloud environments. Then coming to the user awareness, we need to, every personal individual user should have the awareness by providing their credentials strongly, giving a strong authentication passwords, and then multi-factor authentications they need to enable, and then they need to have the face recognition, biometric authentications in order to access any cloud services from the cloud. So this awareness and training sessions should be given to the users. Then coming to the continuous monitoring, we need to continuously monitor any of the organizational data, and then at the same time sending and receiving of the data, how it is happening. Let's say I'll take an example of an entry gate. So to the entry gate to any auditorium, or let's say any kind of hall, we need to have an entry and exit point. So we need to understand how securely we can send the people inside, and then we can send the people outside. Same way into the cloud, actually how securely data can be sent and received is important. So this continuous monitoring should be understood. Let's say if any CC camera is there to monitor what is the in and outflow of the people into that particular hall. Same way in the cloud also, we need to have the in and outflow of the data, from where it is coming and from where it is where it is going. This information monitoring is always important. So this is what the integration of the cloud principles or policies into the cloud security. Now we need to understand about the cloud security best practices. These are most important because the technology is growing, data is increasing, and the real-time data is emerged a lot, and then based upon that the security threats are increased more. So in this regard, we need to understand, and then we need to include some of the best practices. We need to see that every data that is being shared between multiple users openly, or even for privately or publicly, should be having the data encryption mechanisms into the cloud. Then at the same time, use personalized keys to encrypt sensitive data. Personalized keys means, like, let's say you will have a PIN number, then authentication passcode, and all these things. This will be used for the personalized as a personalized keys to encrypt the data. At the same time, the decrypting of the data should be also happening in the same way. Then we should limit how data gets shared. The data sharing is becoming more and more nowadays through social media platforms and then through multiple channels and all. So we need to protect this data sharing most importantly. More data we share, more privacy we lose. So this is what the fundamental we need to understand. We need to understand about the data sharing, whether we need to share the data if it is most important and to the most important people or organization only, we need to share the data. And then preventing data from going to unmanaged devices. Like, for example, nowadays, all the device-based data is being increased a lot. Like all biometrics and then all the face recognition types of access methods, they have been increased. So preventing data not to go into unmanaged data systems, we need to understand that scenario, and then we need to protect that particular data not to go into unstructured systems. Then train the necessary measures and then mechanisms to all the employees or persons or the users involved into that particular system so that the security mechanisms will be applied properly into the organization. And then put data protection policies in place. We should give the high priority to this particular data protection policies, especially in the cloud data management or the cloud security mechanisms. We need to really understand how to protect the data based upon the policies that we design. We need to design the policies in such a way that the user can secure his data or her data, or organizations also can secure the data. So data exchange should happen, but at the same time, the security should be provided. Then routinely test your security system and then monitor third-party integrations, etc. For example, if you are buying and selling any product through any online application or platform, so we are providing all the data, whatever the data you have with you, whatever the products available with you. But at the same time, you are revealing all your data to other party. So we need to take the help of the third party so that they can provide the policies and mechanisms in order to protect your personal details and information to other parties. So this is a best practice we can do. And then routinely test your security systems. The security system in the computing environment is most important, especially when it is connected to the cloud. The cloud should provide all these security mechanisms into that particular system so that users can freely send and receive the data. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you.